Hello, I'm Oscar. I'm the Portfolio Manager for Space and Satellites at SAE Media Group, and I'm managing the Military Space Situational Awareness Conference taking place April 28th to 30 in London. Today I'm speaking to Marc Riviere from our sponsor PTC. Welcome, Marc. Could you please introduce PTC and your role at the company?
Sure. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you very much for having me. So I'm Marc Riviere, Senior Director, Aerospace and Defense Industry Global Advisor at PTC. PTC is a global technology company. We help design, manufacture, and service the product of our customers. Our customers are experts in complex product. This is basically what we are good at. Our customers build trains, cars, robots, heavy machinery, satellites, aircraft, you name them. Any complex system is under our product, basically. In terms of technology, we started in technology with engineering first, and then we grow into manufacturing and service. And so we now span the whole life cycle of the systems of our customers. We have decades of supporting in the aerospace and defense sector. We've supported several prominent space-focused enterprises around the world. As you know, space is a focus for PTC. It's a big target for PTC, and we support actively that industry. And I hope you will see that during the interview. My background is deeply rooted in the aerospace and defense industry. Personally, I come from service in the French Air Force, where I was program director at the Operational Test and Evaluation Center. I had different roles there. One of them was to be in charge of the integrated logistics support of the Airbus 400M. I was also in charge of all the minor changes. Every time there is a new special operation need in all type of fleet, I was responsible for design, engineering, and manufacturing of those changes. I was responsible for the certification and approval of those changes. So that's basically my background. Since then, I joined PTC, and I'm now covering the aerospace and defense vertical at PTC.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's talk a bit more about PTC. Can you tell me more about the company's journey and involvement in the aerospace and defense sector?
Sure. As I mentioned, PTC has a long history of service companies within the aerospace and defense sector. And so because we spend so much time with those customers, we do understand the macro challenges of this industry. We understand that there is a big evolving workforce. There is a big supply chain disruption happening, huge market pressure in all the different sectors of the aerospace and defense vertical. But space is obviously under big pressure right now because of all the disruptive events that are happening around the world. Increased complexity on all the complex programs that are happening. There's more and more software everywhere. So we're tackling those challenges with our products, and we've been accompanying those customers along the way to make sure that they get the right support from our solutions along the way. So 40 years of experience providing tools, strategy, improving efficiency, enhancing collaboration. And specifically this year, we are reorganizing the company, PTC. We are aligning on a vertical strategy. So we are aligning the full company on the main verticals, industry verticals that we're focusing on. And the aerospace and defense vertical is one of the biggest with automotive. And so we're really aligning on the go-to-market strategy for that, because basically it's not only about products at the end. We want to be able to provide the right solutions to our customers. Each product will need to be configured, changed, adapted to the special needs of the different verticals. So we really want to focus on that. And we're focusing heavily in the aerospace industry, and space is one of the priorities we're having this year.
And what is it exactly that motivates PTC to expand its presence in the space sector?
So as I said previously, we're very much involved in the space sector already. We've been working with big players in the space sector, specifically in the US, very much involved. But we're seeing that the space industry is booming right now because of all the challenges we're facing in the space sector. You see that, for example, space commands are blooming in every forces around the world. Everybody is trying to rearm themselves. So the space sector is under big need of help because there's a big disruption. They need to go fast. The warfare is going very, very fast. So they need solution to be able to innovate, adapt faster, collaborate better. Digital transformation is not an option in this environment. And we truly believe that we can bring the right solution there because of our experience and because we are specifically working on that kind of challenges along the way.
Tell me a bit about PTC's value proposition. It'd be great if you could tie in discussions of how PTC products support integration for digital engineering continuity, especially in fast-moving programs.
Sure. So PTC, we're a software company, right? But it's not only about bringing software onto the market. Our big value proposition is on product lifecycle, product and system lifecycle management. And when we talk about product and system lifecycle management, it's end to end. People tend to think that product lifecycle management happens in the engineering field, but at the end, it happens from the very beginning of the program till the end of life of the system. And so we do provide solutions to make sure that we cover the full life cycle of the products along the way, from requirements management, application lifecycle management for software, CAD for design, PLM for product lifecycle management in the engineering area, and then continuity to manufacturing and service lifecycle management solution. So we do provide that portfolio of solutions, but more than that, we want to be able to provide that digital thread along the way. And we know that it's not just only a matter of being one vendor providing the full story. It's a matter of being able to connect and to interact with the other systems. So in our approach, it's very important for us to have an open architecture approach and to be able to connect anything that is already in use within our customers. So you name them, ERPs, MES, logistics systems, if they're using any different requirements tools or different computer-aided design tools. As a matter of fact, there's no customer today that is using only one CAD system. You may have a better CAD for cable, then another one for electronics, and then another one for hardware, another one for software. So the most important thing is not to bring the CAD solution, but to make sure that those CAD work interactively, the ones with the others. And so this is the kind of thing that we bring on the market, that's access to data, unification of data, no duplication of data, and making sure that we have that digital thread all along the way.
Let's talk a bit about some specific PTC products and what those products offer end users. Can you tell me more about PTC's rapid prototyping and lifecycle management tools such as Onshape and Codebeamer?
Sure. So as I said, we have a big portfolio of product, but we can talk about Onshape and Codebeamer. Onshape is really the right tool and pretty specifically for the space small startup industry. It's a very good tool because it's providing a fast prototyping capability. It's an easy to use software. It's web-based, no need for implementation, So you just have an account and all the resources outside. So you can use any computer, no implementation needed. You can use that very quickly. It's built for collaboration. And so we've had a lot of customers adopting that CAD solution because it's easy to use, fast to use, easy to collaborate, easy to do fast prototyping. It's really bringing a solution for those small companies. On the other hand, when we talk about Codebeamer, I mentioned the application lifecycle management software. Codebeamer is one of those softwares. So it's providing the capability to cover the requirements for software, but not only software and hardware. And at the end of the day, it's providing the ability to collaborate on those requirements with many different partners and actors. So on the whole V cycle process, it's able to provide traceability, validation of the requirements, and all the workflow that goes with it on an agile way. So it's really a breakthrough in the way we are addressing those requirements for software. And it's highly required in the industry today because the software part on all the new systems is becoming bigger and bigger, not only for the design, but also in the systems. And they are critical in the mission of the systems and ever changing. And the loop to change those systems, those software, for hardware, for example, the change loop can take months. For software, you can have a new software every day or every week, and you need to be able to cope with that, right? And so you need a tool like Codebeamer to be able to collaborate in those environments with a lot of different partners at the same time.
How do these tools support the requirements, standards, regulations specific to those of the space sector?
Okay, so we just talked about Codebeamer. So obviously, Codebeamer is the required tool to cover those requirements. As I said at the beginning, we've been supporting our customers for a long time. And the reason why we're able to support our customers that long is because we are adapting to the new requirements, to the complexity, to the regulation that is happening, and to the standards that are coming. So it's in the approach of PTC. So we apply that for the Codebeamer, of course, but we apply that to all the other tools that we're using. So our PLM solution is supporting all the standards. Every time there's a new standard, we make sure that we cover those standards. We have covered the regulations, very highly critical regulations in this industry from the very beginning. And we keep track of all the changes on those regulations all along the way.
Thank you. What are some of the core challenges faced by companies in the space sector, and how are PTC's technologies well suited to address these challenges?
So part of my role at PTC is obviously to track that, right? To track those challenges. And so there's many challenges. So I will talk about macro challenges here. Most of them apply to the space industry, but then depending on who we talk to in the space industry is going to be different. But one obvious one is the need to speed, the need to go faster. So speed of R&D is not an option anymore. And we see that in all the subsectors of the aerospace and defense industry, whether there's a new concept of operations. In the defense sector, for example, we see that with the war in Ukraine. You need to adapt very quickly to a new threat, to a new need. So the speed of R&D is not an option anymore. So we need to be able to take the requirements very quickly, to put those requirements into the program, and to come up with a solution that is manufactured and delivered to the end customer quicker than ever before. So we see that acceleration happening everywhere. I talked about the defense environment, but it's also happening in the aerospace sector and the space sector also. If you look at the big competition that is happening between all the different, I would say, blocks in the space industry, US on one side, China on the other side, Europe, there's a huge fight between the different competitors. And the one that goes faster is the one that wins most of the time. So speed of R&D is really, really not an option anymore. The one that you mentioned also on your previous question, ensure compliance with standards, policies, regulation. It's something very important in the industry. So you can't just use a software or a solution that is used in any other industry unless you make sure that you're compliant with all the different requirements in terms of safety, in terms of sovereignty, security, the regulation in general, and it's becoming more and more regulated every day. So it's really a matter of coping with that change and with that pace of change of those regulations. Another thing that we're seeing very heavily is programs are becoming more and more complex. So because they're becoming more and more complex, they're involving more and more actors and partners. And those partners working together need a way to be collaborating together. So the need for digital collaboration, again, it's not an option anymore. Like we used to work on paper, we used to send emails, we used to send, drawings, and now it has to be a lot more effective. We need to be able to work on the same design, same models, same digital artifacts. So it's really, really transforming the way the aerospace and defense industry is working, because they really need to have a huge digital transformation to make sure that they're able to collaborate that way. And taking into account those, the fact that security, safety, sovereignty needs to be taken care of, IP protection. So it's not an easy case. I said manage product complexity and variability. One of the main characteristics of this industry is we will never see massive production of one example. Every new serial number is going to be different with a different configuration. So managing complexity and variability of the products is really something very, very important. And so this is where you need digital thread and digital continuity, because serial number 10 will be one configuration and serial number 11 will be another configuration. And so you need to inform the supply chain. You need to make sure you have the right part. You need to make sure that the procurement's anticipated. It's a lot of things to anticipate because of that variability. So it's a big characteristic of the industry. And we see also a big ramp up of production in all the sectors. You know that Europe is rearming, so we see our customers with big backlog of production, struggling to produce faster. And again, it's a matter of being able to anticipate, a matter of optimizing the operations in the manufacturing environment. And so it's a big, big trend that needs to be covered. And if you look at the space industry, out of those trends that I was talking about, digital collaboration is at the forefront, basically, because we see all those new companies bringing value, AI companies, startup companies. They need to work in a bigger consortium. They need to be able to be integrated into the European Space Agency or other big players. So digital collaboration is a big important thing, and speed of R&D is also very, very important.
Okay, you've touched on this in your previous answer, but what other interesting trends are you seeing in the space sector that excite you most?
The need for digital collaborations, the need for collaboration between all the different players, small and bigger, and the speed of R&D. Those are the big ones that need to be tackled. And this is really what we're working on. And again, I was naming Codebeamer, I was naming the PLM solution. The digital thread is going to bring the solution to manage the product complexity, the need for digital collaboration, and the need for speed in R&D.
Would you be able to share some examples of PTC's proven success in supporting companies in the space sector, particularly with large US providers?
Sure. So we've been, like mentioned previously, we've been supporting big space players in the US sector. We can name Cummins as an example. Cummins has been using heavily PTC products in the CAD, PLM, and other environments. But also we can name NASA. 9 out of the 10 units in NASA are using PTC products. So we're heavily supporting NASA in all the different space programs that are happening right now.
What does PTC hope to achieve from participating in the Military Space Situational Awareness Conference?
It's very important for us to better understand what's happening, to get the better connection to the real stuff. And so being at this space conference will give us the opportunity to share thoughts, to bring our beliefs, to talk about what we're doing, to better understand the challenges, to fine-tune our solutions based on those talks that we will have. So it's really a matter of being able to speak with the startups, to speak with the influencers, to speak with all the policymakers so that we can better understand and better serve them in the future.
Thank you very much for sharing your insights with us today. Is there anything else you want to add or any final thoughts?
So thank you, Oscar, for having me. I just want to emphasize the importance of innovation and collaboration in space. PTC is really committed to supporting companies in this industry. We provide the tools, solutions they need to succeed. We look forward to continuing our journey and helping our clients achieve their goals. So for everyone listening today, I want to welcome you, experts, providers, policymakers, academic partners, to please visit our PTC booth. We want to meet you. We want to learn from you. We want to share how we deliver value to the space industry. And we want to know more about the networks you intend to join. So you can reach out to me, Marc Riviere, or Corey Thibault, my colleague, supporting my participation at the event. We look forward to meeting you.
Marc, thank you again. And I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Thank you. And looking forward to seeing you very quick.